Hi, this is John with TSG Multimedia, and today I'm reviewing a 4-in-1 phone lens kit by CamKix. This particular kit is for iPhone 6, and it retails on Amazon for $44.99. And it comes with a 12-power telephoto lens, a fisheye lens, and then a wide angle and a macro lens. Also comes with this little case, some lens cloths for cleaning the lenses, a mini tripod, and a clamp for your phone, as well as a hard case for the phone that looks like this. I've put my phone in it already, but the trick to this case and the way this thing works is it has a threaded hole that you attach these lenses to, and it's positioned right over the camera lens on the phone. One thing I'd like to say right off the top is that I prefer my own case. I bought this because I wanted something that was more protective. The case that this comes with is not as heavy duty. It is a little bit rubberized, so it probably helps with grip, but the case that I purchased before is pretty rubberized too. It's just heavier duty because it's metal. So that's one thing I don't like starting off, just because I prefer my heavier duty case. Okay, so I'm going to start with the fisheye lens, and it's important to note that the fisheye lens actually consists of two parts. It has this bottom piece that has the correct thread to fit onto the case, and then this is a wider or a bigger thread on this. If you don't have this small piece, you can't put the lens on the camera because it doesn't match up to the thread on that. To put it on, you just screw this down. So there you go. We're ready for a fisheye test here. But before I do that, I'm going to put the camera into the clamp that it comes with so I can position it on the tripod. The camera holder, or phone holder if you will, is pretty simple. It's just spring-loaded. So you pull this back, this top part, and then it just kind of grabs the phone. You probably have seen these for other kinds of tripods too. And then down here, this clamp / phone holder has a thread that will fit into the tripod. And I'm just going to screw this in. And then before it's fully tight, I'm going to bring this extra washer and tighten it down. And then of course the legs simply come open by pulling on them. So that's pretty much ready to go now. So I'm going to take this outside and take a picture of some stuff with the fisheye lens and without the fisheye lens, and you'll get an idea of what effect it has. So here you have a scene in my backyard without the fisheye lens and with. And here's another picture of a tree along the house without it and with the fisheye lens. Okay, so next we're going to do the wide angle lens. And again, you have two lenses that are actually attached to each other on here. You have the top one, which is the wide angle, and you have to stack these in order to have it work as a wide angle lens. And then the bottom one is the macro lens. And the macro lens works on its own, so you have to take this top piece off to do macro. But first, we're going to do wide angle. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take it outside and take some pictures of some scenes in my backyard. You get an idea of what the difference is. So once again, looking at the weeds without the wide angle lens and with it. And then looking at the tree without it and with it. I've been trying to separate these two lenses from each other for the past 15 minutes, and I'm finding it completely impossible to get them to come apart. You know, I haven't done anything to tighten them, but I can't get them apart. So if this is the way they all come, good luck with that. And it's really too bad because the macro lens is the one that I'm most interested in trying in this kit. So I'm going to set that aside. I've sent an email to the company via Amazon to see if they have any suggestions on how to get those two lenses apart. So we're going to do the telephoto lens next. Screw it onto the camera first. You may notice that there's a hole here. That's for the tripod. So in order to use that, you put the tripod there and screw it down, just like when you put the clamp on the tripod. And it's probably best to use the telephoto only with the tripod, because if you try to take pictures with the telephoto lens, just holding the phone, they're going to be kind of shaky. And my experience with telephoto is that when you're zoomed up to something, it causes exaggerations in the motion, any motion that happens with the camera. So I'm going to take this outside and we'll take some telephoto shots. Same thing here, without and with. So you can see that it does a pretty good job of bringing those sort of faraway things a lot closer. And something also to mention about this telephoto lens is you have to focus it with this focus ring. So if you put it on the camera and it doesn't look right, turn that a little bit. In order to separate the wide angle lens from the macro lens, you keep it in the case and then turn it clockwise. This is a little counterintuitive because usually you turn things counterclockwise to separate them. But in this case, you turn it clockwise and then it just comes off eventually, like that. We have a picture of some grains of dirt without the macro lens, and here it is with the macro lens. And a picture of a flower. This is as close as I can get to it without the macro lens, and this is what it looks like with the macro lens. And another important thing about the macro lens to know is that you really do have to be close up. I mean, like really close. So close that it might be hard for you to get light on your subject. Overall, I like this kit quite a bit. It's compact, it does what it's supposed to do, and it's easy to use. One thing I'm very disappointed in was the fact that the macro and wide angle lenses were so hard to get apart. I actually had to contact this company via email in order to find out how to make them come apart. What's even more confusing about it, the lenses themselves screw clockwise onto the case. So it really made no sense to have something in the kit have to go counterclockwise to tighten and clockwise to loosen. And the fact that it wasn't explained anywhere in the documentation, I'm taking a spike off for that. The tripod that comes with this kit is nice and small, but it's not very sturdy. I found when I was trying to take pictures with it, it was moving quite a bit. So in order to use this more effectively, I'm going to have to use it on a real tripod. So I'm going to take a spike off for that as well. So my final verdict is 8 out of 10 spikes.
If you or your company make a product that you'd like us to review, please drop us a line at reviews@tsgmultimedia.com.